Every 4 years, a special event takes place in Teyvat, called the Siblympics. Teams of siblings or step-siblings from all around the nations compete against others in a series of challenges that tests a diverse set of skills. Once their team loses a game, they are eliminated from the competition until there is only one pair remaining. This year's competition is held in Mondstadt, and naturally, Venti decides to be the host. Now, let the games begin, as Venti introduces the first game. It is a trivia challenge to test how well they really know their brother or sister. Each correct answer is one jump to the next platform, and each wrong answer is one jump back. There are 10 platforms in total, and once both of them complete it, they are safe. The last team to make it in the end will be eliminated from the competition. The game starts, and everyone jumps to their first platforms. The questions start off easy, asking about each other's birthdays and favorite foods, which they easily answer, making them think it will be a piece of cake. Then it got progressively harder. What did Ayato give Ito as a gift in his drum-along festival? Absolutely no idea. Describe Lynette's full routine when making tea. Too much of a hassle. How long has Barbara had her journal? Not sure. Who created Albedo? Who knows? Why does Diluc think grape juice is superior to wine? Because it's not. 10 minutes have passed when the teams start to finish. Ayato and Ayaka end up being the first to reach the end of the platforms, followed by Linny and Lynette, both being very close to their siblings. Albedo completed the challenge pretty fast, knowing everything about Klee, but she too eventually managed to get 10 right. Now it's between Diluc and Kaya, and Jean and Barbara, on who will be eliminated. What pet did Jean have? A tortoise. What type of bird does Diluc own? An umber-tail falcon. What type of food does Barbara hate? Foods that are bitter. Both teams are now on the 10th question. It asked, on how did their sibling receive their vision? Barbara tries her best to recall, while Diluc is reluctant to answer, despite knowing full well the story. After a few seconds of budging Diluc to say it, he finally answers, saying it was when the both of them fought that almost resulted in their death. Kaya easily recounts Diluc's story, and the both of them manage to pass, resulting in Jean and Barbara being eliminated. After a short break, the next competition begins. It is a cooking challenge, where teams have to create a dish in only 30 minutes that should impress the panel of judges, which are Shanling, Venti, and Nahida. Linny comments that cooking is not so different from magic, both needing precision, creativity, and an element of surprise. The two were just seen sitting and drinking tea the entire time. Diluc's meticulous nature and his brother's unpredictable flair made for an intriguing match in the kitchen. They settled on creating a dish that they already had experience making, a grilled steak infused with Mondstadt's signature herbs, accompanied by a side of fluffy dandelion salad. As for the Kamisato siblings, they chose to make pizza, inspired by the Traveler. They weren't very experienced in cooking, but they didn't think it would be too hard. Klee and Albedo joyfully approached their cooking station. Klee suggested they make a vibrant and colorful birthday cake, something Albedo was more than happy to make with her. After 30 minutes, the time is up, and it is now time for the contestants to present their dish. The twins surprised the judges by presenting them with an empty bowl. Linny called their food a mystic mirage soup. With the press of his wand, colorful ingredients start to appear in the bowl. After a majestic magic show, a puff of smoke emerged from his hand, and a bowl of soup appeared before the judges' very eyes. It looked beautiful, but upon tasting it, it tasted bland and a bit like chemicals. Not the best, but their show was amazing. For the brothers, the judges were captivated by the fragrant smell of their food, and were met with an explosion of flavor upon tasting it. Although their dish was simple, the spices they used added a depth of flavor that elevated their food to new heights. Diluc also added their secret weapon, the finest grape juice from Dawn Winery, as a drink. This solidified their first place in the cooking competition. For the Kamisato siblings, it didn't go so well. Ayaka ended up burning the pizza, and Ayato, hearing you can put anything on pizza, got way too carried away in adding the toppings. He added dango, lavender melons, and wolfhook berries as toppings, thinking it would make for an interesting blend. Needless to say, the judges didn't like their food one bit, all needing to leave the room, but Xianling applauded their creativity in using weird ingredients. For Albedo and Klee, they showed a colorful birthday cake. Before they dig in, Klee excitedly says that she almost forgot to light the candles, using her vision to do so. Albedo then comments that they didn't have candles in the kitchen. How did she get them? She just happily replied that she improvised, using her bombs instead. The room then blows up, a deafening explosion echoed through Mondstadt, followed by a brilliant burst of light. The arena was in shambles, destroying everything around them. Venti then announces that Team Albedo and Klee are the ones eliminated, for almost getting rid of all the participants and judges. In addition, their food certainly packed too much of a punch, way too much for the average person. With 3 teams left, Venti announces that the next challenge is a blindfolded race. Each team picks one member to be blindfolded, while the other directs the blinded person to the course. Starting from Wind Rise, they have to direct the person all the way over to the Thousand Winds Temple. Begin. Diluc, Lini, and Ayato are the ones guiding, while Kaya, Lynette, and Ayaka are the ones blindfolded. Lynette and Ayaka follow every word their sibling says, having full trust in them, and knowing they would never put them in danger. While Kaya was more hesitant and cautious listening to Diluc, due to their complicated relationship. It also didn't help he would constantly berate him for being slow. While guiding, Lini taunts Ayato that he is willing to do anything to win, and he replies, to bring it on, they will achieve the victory. They had to go through monsters, trees, and other obstacles, but it was clear everyone was set on winning, pushing through even after getting hit or falling down. After a very exhilarating race, Lynette ended up reaching the Thousand Winds Temple first. Being Lini's assistant, she had experienced him always leading, or him being the one in control, in a performance. Ayaka finished second, making her and Ayato be part of the finale, and getting the chance to win it all. As for Diluc, seeing they have lost, he directs Kaya to a pond, where he ends up falling in, as his last revenge for his constant annoyance the entire time. And for the final game, Venti announces that it is connected to this game. It's just a simple race, from Dragon Spine to the Mondstadt city. The first person to reach the village will have their team crowned as the victor. Note that only one person needs to make it for it to count as a victory. The 4 of them stand in the starting line. The tension between the 2 teams was palpable, a mix of friendly rivalry and mutual respect. The signal to start was given as the racers surged forward, and Lini and Lynette already employing their first trick. They sneakily put slime condensate under the sibling shoes. This gave them a big head start as they swiftly weaved through the icy forest. Ayaka and Ayato demonstrated their swordsmanship skills, deftly cutting through the trees that came their way, and getting rid of the slime condensate. The race led them to a daunting ice cavern, where Lynette's cat-like instincts proved invaluable. Her keen senses guided them through the labyrinth passages. Meanwhile, Lini left traps all over behind them, with the intention of slowing down the Kamisato siblings, and possibly blocking them. Ayaka and Ayato then do a harmonious technique, combining their hydro and cryo vision to make their own ice bridge, creating a shortcut that avoids all of the traps they left behind. Exiting the icy labyrinth, with the village now able to be seen in the distance, the Kamisato siblings managed to get ahead of the twins, thanks to that shortcut. Seeing they have lost their lead, and the race is about to end, Lini implements another trick up his sleeve. He goes to attack Ayaka, as Lynette goes after Ayato, which results in both teams fighting each other. This greatly surprises the Kamisato siblings, never expecting them to do something so bold. Lini then reiterates again that he is willing to do anything to win, even if it means knocking out her sister. Ayato, realizing that Lini is such a big threat, not only to the competition, but to Ayaka's safety, he must immobilize him as soon as possible. Coordinating their attacks, they manage to deal significant damage to Lini, being much better at combat than the twins, as illusions and magic tricks can only do so much to help him. They managed to immobilize him after a combined attack. He tried his best to get away, but it was no use. He was now too weak. They then realize that Lynette has disappeared, nowhere to be found. Lini then laughs, commenting they had fallen for one of his most common tricks, misdirection. He focused the attention all on himself, resulting in the Kamisato siblings forgetting about Lynette, as she blends into the background. He also prioritized attacking Ayaka, like he was willing to do severe damage, resulting in Ayato being way too protective and cautious of her. Linny says, in the end, it was all an act, it was just a performance, and he had no intention of actually hurting her, but he does apologize for using unconventional methods to achieve victory. Lynette reaches the village, resulting in Linny and Lynette being the victors of the Siblympics. Exiting the icy labyrinth, with the village now able to be seen in the distance, the Kamisato siblings are getting close to passing the twins. When crossing the bridge, Lynette is surprised by Ayaka's sudden appearance, and instinctively attacks her. The damage she dealt proved to be fatal though, as she ended up losing her consciousness, and fell into the river. Without thinking, they both jump in after her, feeling bad about what they have done, and it would be very dangerous if they just left her alone. Underwater, they see her, and when they grab her to swim up, she opens her eyes, and apologizes for this. She uses her elemental skill, freezing all three of them together in the river, as Ayato passes them. Linny used his pyro vision to escape the ice, but it was now too late. Ayato reaches the village, resulting in Ayaka and Ayato being the victors of the Siblympics. He does apologize though, for using unconventional methods to achieve this victory. The end. Thank you all so much for watching. Give a like if you ended up enjoying this video, and subscribe to see more of my future content. Bye.